Tai Chi and Cigarettes. When we pulled up by the edge of the road, I kept my eyes open for any creepers. "There's one. 10 o'clock, I said, as a lady stood at the corner of the street practicing what looked like Tai Chi. Her gray hair stuck out in every direction as she moved, apparently oblivious to the world around her. The people who walked by gave her questioning glances. Some even looked frightened, like me. "Do you think I can make it?" I asked. "You're acting like a child. She's not going to hurt you. Anyway, you'll be late if you don't hurry up." I knew I wasn't going to be late, but I decided to run for it. When I reached the golden doors, I lugged them open, waved to my mom, and ran inside. I quickly pounded my fist into the buzzer and waited, my hand on the second set of gold doors, to be let in. Finally, I heard the faint noise that unlocked the door. I walked rapidly down the long hallway and stopped at what must be the slowest elevator in the entire city of Dayton. I jammed a finger into the up button and waited. My knuckles impatiently drummed against the wall. When the doors opened, I jumped inside, ready for the ride that seemed like it lasted a lifetime. A few of my friends greeted me when I reached the 4th floor. Erin was complaining about how her point shoes had scraped off her turquoise nail polish. Kate was on her phone. Marie sat taping her toes with duct tape that had penguins on it. Taylor stretched in the corner. I dumped my bag into my usual cubby, third from the right in the bottom row, and went to sign myself in. As I put a messy 3 next to my name, I caught the familiar scent of cigarettes and sweat. Of course I did. It was Wednesday. "Is anyone back there?" I asked, motioning towards Studio 2. "I don't think so. Wait a sec, I'm coming too," said Marie, as she dropped the duct tape into her bag. I grabbed 2 pairs of shoes, a skirt, some Band-Aids, and my water bottle before heading back. I was glad the lights were off in Studio 2. With the fluorescent lighting, the off-white marley floor and the walls often give me headaches. The natural light streaming in from the big windows gave the room a more pleasant look. Immediately, I walked across the room to check if the Tai Chi lady was still there. Sure enough, she was. With a sigh, I grabbed a mat, flipped it so the blue side was up, and sat down to stretch until class started. The lights flicked on and modern class began. We went through the usual crunches, hinges, laterals, flatbacks, and tilts. At the end, we worked on choreography for a piece we would perform in a few weeks. Before I knew it, modern was over. I pulled my tights down over my feet and put on a pair of soft shoes. Marie and I pulled out our usual bar into the center of the studio, aligning it with the crack in the mirror. I knew he was there before I saw him. His smell announced his arrival. Again, my nose was poisoned with the smell of cigarettes and sweat. A moment later, our ballet teacher, Matthew, strutted into the studio. Every Wednesday, Matthew tortured us. After a mere 30-minute bar with technically difficult and physically impossible combinations, we came into the center for another hour full of even more challenges. On top of his difficult class, the comments he always made were never helpful. Instead of combining encouragement with criticism, Matthew seemed to focus on screaming at us to do better. His enormous ego also drove some of his negativity. Some of my friends had even told the school director about his teaching method, but nothing had ever been done to fix it. On that day, I expected it to be no different, and it wasn't. If anything, Matthew's negativity was still increasing exponentially every time he taught class. Halfway through bar, Matthew started yelling at me to stretch my feet. Although initially annoyed, I grudgingly pushed my feet to go a little bit further. Greatly fatigued, I caught another glimpse of the lady practicing Tai Chi on the street corner. All of a sudden, I realized that I felt sorry for that old lady. She would never receive the opportunities that I had been given. I even thought that maybe Matthew wasn't such a bad teacher. Even though he smells bad and can be extremely harsh, I still had the opportunity to learn and study ballet. Content with myself and happier that I had ever been on a Wednesday in ballet class, I smiled at Matthew and stretched my feet as hard as I possibly could.